Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
We get Nerdy Nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
Yeah, we do. Welcome back to a Friday edition of the Nightly Morning Show, also known as Disney Plus Day here in our apartment, because there was a new episode of WandaVision this morning.
Yes. Yes, we actually got up early today to watch it.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
We won't be talking spoilers for that.
No spoilers,
Our spoiler chat will go up on the YouTube channel later today.
Yes. Oh god, this show was so good.
Can I be honest?
Yes.
Today is probably my least favorite episode so far, because it is very much
setup.
Not gonna say anything. Yeah, it's just
It's setup.
This is
as opposed to
this is the pivot towards the finale.
Yes.
This is the they've set up the world, and now this episode was, and there's great moments in it. There's really some great moments in it. We don't want to talk spoilers, but this is definitely the all right, we need to put everyone in place to head towards our conclusion. Yeah. Which happens in every show. This one just was. Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
It was still good. Yeah. It just definitely didn't stand out as much. Wasn't as whoa as all the other ones, because we didn't really learn anything new. We didn't learn.
We'll talk about it in the spoiler chat.
Yeah.
Come back for the spoiler chat later today after you've seen the episode. Watch the episode first, because there are a couple things we're going to spoil. And there's some interesting things we're going to talk about. Also, I really appreciated that now this is the 90s episode, right? Yeah. Last week was the 80s. And we got a Malcolm in the Middle opening, which was weirdly nostalgic. Yeah.
It was a bop.
I haven't been nostalgic for any of the sitcom feelings yet, because they're all before my time. I've seen episodes of them, but I didn't grow up with them. They weren't the weekly show. Yeah. This was the first episode where I was this is my introduction to sitcoms. Malcolm in the Middle, those kind of 90s sitcoms. This is where I got into this. And so that was really interesting to me, because I was this one is my sitcom years. And I wonder if people older than me have been having that feeling with past episodes. Because it's cool. I was oh yeah, I remember when this is how these shows felt. And it was nice. Yeah,
it's so well done. After the show, I was I want to make that song a TikTok trend.
Yeah.
Because it's a bop. It's very good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thought and care that's been put into the show, and it stands out.
We should make a TikTok. I have an idea. It's a TikTok, but it's us doing a sitcom opening, but it keeps introducing the two of us in our apartment. And it's sitcoms in quarantine.
Oh my god.
And it'll just be me, and then you, and then me again, and then you again. And then the end of it is us looking for other characters, and there aren't any.
Wow.
Guys, the genesis of a TikTok live on the show.
Great. Let's make it happen.
I watch old shows, and it excites me to see the things from each decade. Yeah, Sex Monkey, I'm really into it. I love this show. WandaVision is very good.
It is.
Also, the way they're bringing back old MCU characters, that might be a spoiler for people. Never mind. I won't say any names, but their use of characters and references to MCU movies, spot on. Yeah. Really enjoying the show. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been a whole year together.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's
You kidnapped me a year ago?
I didn't kidnap you.
Well,
adult nap. Reverse that.
I did not kidnap you.
No, I know.
If I kidnapped you, we would be in New York. We wouldn't have ended up in your city.
Well, no, because I literally can't go to New York. You would have had to shove me in a suitcase.
You would fit.
I would definitely fit.
No.
That's not the problem.
For those of you who don't understand, today is our 1-year anniversary. Yeah. We started dating a year ago, and we've now been married for 5 months. So, well, no, actually.
Not quite.
October, November, December, January, February. We've been married for almost 5 months.
Yeah.
But we've been together for a year.
Yes.
Because we did things the way everyone else does them.
Yeah, we did our own thing. And you know what? I'm very glad.
How do you feel about a year with this ugly mug?
I think it's pretty cute.
Oh,
it's
thank
growing
you.
on me. Yeah, it's obviously it's weird because it's COVID and we have spent, I think, 1 day apart, in this entire year. But yeah, I wouldn't have wanted anyone else to go through this with.
Aww. Y'all, we're gonna be playing a big co-op anniversary stream today. We're gonna be playing Super Mario 3D World together on stream. We're gonna be doing some co-op. We're gonna start with Bowser's Fury because that's the new game.
We're gonna start with that. Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll go back and play the old one once we beat the new one. I want to play the new one. It's the one neither of us have played. It's the new thing. Yeah. It's the new toy. So that'll start at like 1 Eastern if you guys want to come back. Once the show's over, we have to record our WandaVision spoiler chat, and then I have to run to the liquor store because we do need liquor for today.
Right.
We said we were going to get drunk. So
we did say we were going to.
Yeah, and we're going to do shots. So that's going to be fun.
I'm sorry. What?
Didn't I tell you?
You did not tell me we were doing shots.
Yeah, we're going to do shots all day.
No.
It'll be a 2-hour stream. Cars will pass out. It'll be great.
Yeah. I have the capacity for like 2 shots and that's it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But yeah, come by later and hang out with us. It's going to be a good time.
It will. Should we get into the news?
Yes. News. Sorry, they're doing shots.
Shots, yeah. News. Our title story today is that we can watch The Chappelle Show without feeling like we are betraying Dave Chappelle. My mouth cannot say words. Without feeling like we are betraying Dave Chappelle. If you guys don't remember this, we talked about this on the morning show earlier in the year.
I don't remember this.
Dave Chappelle was asking people to stop watching his show, The Chappelle Show, which originally aired on Comedy Central back in the day, and was a show that I really, really loved back in the day. And I was not aware that he didn't really get paid all that well for it. There were maybe some sketchy contracts involved in the show. And so when he started to see it pop up on all these streaming services, he asked people not to watch it. And the streaming services, in this case was Netflix, they were like, you know what, that's fair. We're gonna take it down, and we are going to stop. We're gonna stop airing it. Like, it's not fair that we're making that. That we are essentially profiting off of your name. In perpetuity. Because you were in a 90s contract that wasn't prepared for the eventuality that your show would be worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Weird times.
Chappelle posted in a 10-minute clip on Instagram, and he has since changed his tune and has said that go watch it. It's on Netflix, CBS, Viacom. They reached out to him and they paid him. They came up with a new deal related to the show's new streaming life. And he is going to be properly compensated for his work being used to make millions of dollars in perpetuity. And I love to see this.
This is a very good sign.
And it's a good sign. It's a good sign for a couple of reasons, right? Dave Chappelle is someone who I have a lot of respect for. I really love his comedy. I like The Chappelle Show a lot. I really love his stand-up comedy. When it's just him with a mic just talking, I find him to be quite profound. And the way that he looks at the world is, even if I don't agree with him, and I don't agree with him 100% of the time, but even if I don't agree with him, I still find that his point of view is insightful in a way that is worth listening to.
Yeah, for sure.
And so he is the kind of person who I feel like has the clout and has a show like this that is worth enough money that he can buck up against these streaming services and be like, hey, this is wrong. Like, you guys are taking work that we did. You're making hundreds of millions of dollars off of it, and you are cutting the actors out of it. You are cutting the talent out of it. And it's basically just executives playing with contracts that at the time didn't know that this is where the industry was going.
Well, and even still, we've talked about a few times that actors who get Netflix or streaming deals generally get paid less. Sometimes a lot less.
Most of the time a lot
Most of the time a lot less. And so, I think this is a really good step in the right direction. We all know that streaming is where we're all headed, cable TV is going to stick around for a very long time, but it's never going to be what it was.
Is it?
people are gonna hold on to it for a while, for several years to come.
Oh, years, yeah.
You know, like, but you know, in 20 years, it's gonna be pretty much done because we've all moved on to more convenient ways of creating and consuming content.
100%.
So yeah, this is especially as to actors.
Yeah.
This is very good news. You know, I can't even imagine what his contract would have been back then.
Yep.
You know, it probably said nothing about streaming, and it went to Netflix, and he probably made zero.
Well, and that's the problem, right? Is streaming contracts for streaming shows is a different beast that we're gonna have to tackle because actors, it's not fair right now. The system as it is not fair for actors or writers or all these people that used to get royalties in television when the show would air on TBS for years after its original life.
Yeah.
The actors and the writers would be properly compensated for that. That doesn't exist in streaming. There are no royalties on a streaming show. And so actors get a one-time payment, and then Netflix gets to make money off of it forever, right?
Yeah.
That is going to be a different problem that the union is going to have to deal with, and we're going to have to find a way to properly compensate actors the way that we did for the last, you know, for the entirety existence of acting on television.
Yeah.
This is a different thing where this is taking someone, especially because this has his name on it.
Yeah.
This is saying, hey, come to Netflix to watch Dave Chappelle. We have Dave Chappelle here, but not pay Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And I know that Netflix pays Dave Chappelle. They've paid him for stand-up specials. There is a reason why they made this move, and it is because his stand-up specials made them a lot of money, and they don't want to piss him off because they want his next stand-up special.
For sure.
And this move by them gets them his next stand-up special. You know what I mean? Because Dave Chappelle now knows if he has a problem, Netflix will fix it for him.
Yes. Or they are willing to work with him.
This is trust building in the right kind of way from a business perspective.
Yeah.
But we do need to talk about, like, not us. This is not a us thing. This is a SAG-AFTRA and the streaming services thing. We need to figure out ways to properly compensate the people whose work is being used by these streaming services to make money. And the way that they're getting around paying them because, well, the contract is not worded to include streaming, so you just don't get paid.
Yeah.
And that's bull crap.
Yeah.
That is a massive pile of bull crap.
Yeah.
That we all need to just call it what it is.
Yeah.
And say, like, this is a problem. And, like, the only people right now who are getting these deals are Dave Chappelle, the cast of Friends, you know what I mean? Like, the big ones. And it needs to extend to the smaller actors too, because it used to be that if you did all this television work, you would get royalties, and that was your that was your pension.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And it's not like you work any less.
Yeah.
You know, you're filming a show. Doesn't matter where it's going to be aired or shown. Like, you still did the same amount of work.
But, like, our royalties were our pensions. Our royalties were our day jobs after a while. If you did enough, like, one episode televisions on 16 shows that went 5 seasons, you would make enough money to kind of get by between gigs.
Yeah. And
that is going away. And it's going to be really hard on the next generation of actors.
Yeah.
That there is no long-term income. And you're going to have to become famous on TikTok. And I don't know. Yeah. I'm happy to see this. And I hope that this is, like, this is the beacon of light that we all head towards as an industry, towards properly compensating the artists who make the art instead of paying them what we feel like they'll take and then letting the executives run away with every other dollar. Yeah.
Yeah. It's this is good to see. It has been an issue for a while. So I'm glad that this is in the news. You know, we're moving in the white we're what?
Did you almost just say we're moving in the white direction?
No, I didn't. I can't speak either.
That is not what you should say when you're talking about Dave Chappelle.
I didn't.
This is the wrong topic to say that on.
I didn't. God damn it. That's not my mouth. What's next?
Man.
What's next?
Acting is a 24/7 job with social media now, it seems. Am I wrong? No Misguided Gamers Live, you're not wrong. Do you want to know what people ask when you audition for their project? How many Instagram followers do you have?
Yeah. Acting is no longer a job. It is a lifestyle, and if you don't live it, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if here's a big problem with acting. If you don't have money, it is very hard to be an actor.
You're also screwed.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying 100% of the time, but acting is acting is a field for the children of people who have money.
Yes. Literally.
Yeah.
Because you need to have...
free time.
You need to have a lot of free time.
Yeah.
You need to have teachers for several different things. You need to have the money for potential surgeries, especially if you're going into film and TV. Botox, that kind of thing. We've had this discussion. A lot of people, that is like a big thing for them. They have to... You either have to look a certain way because that's how other people want you to look, or you have to feel a certain way, or you have to look a certain way so that you feel a certain way about yourself and you have the confidence to become an actor. Because if you don't walk into the room and you're not comfortable in yourself... I would
say that part of it's changing more.
Yeah.
I like the diversity of bodies on screen is very, very glacially slowly getting better.
Bodies, yes. But everyone you see on TV is beautiful, and that's because they can afford the best skincare, they can afford the best hair care.
Or they're just genetically blessed like me, and they don't need soap.
I mean, yeah, I don't understand that one.
I think a big part of it, though, is just being free to audition. And, like, the freedom to audition is tough when you work 5 jobs to pay rent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, one of my biggest problems in my career has been, like, I'm not free every day between 9 and 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have to work the lunch shift because
Well, and with the auditions, you are never given enough time to book it off. Ever. You are called the day of or the day before. Sometimes, if you're lucky, 2 or 3 days in advance. And you have to get your shift covered if you want to make it, or you have to not show up for work.
Or you have to, like... this is bad. But, like, you have to, like, get your table set up, tell the other server to take care of it, and then run across the street to your audition for 30 minutes, go in, sing, and then run back to work and audition in your work clothes.
Of course you have done that.
I've done that multiple times.
I'm not even surprised.
That's why I worked at a restaurant in Midtown. Yeah, acting is a difficult job. And it is especially difficult for people who are not of means, and that disproportionately affects people of color and marginalized groups who work in the acting field.
Yeah.
That is the reality of the industry, and it is slowly getting better.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of initiatives for it to get better. But it isn't there yet. Honestly, it just isn't. And hopefully, like, things like this with Dave Chappelle are beacons that or signs that there is a future where we can make this better and we can do that next thing.
A hardcore soft popcorn S is payment usually determined by the duration of filming or a shallow direct cut with royalties.
Okay, so here's the thing. Hardcore soft popcorn. Should we make this whole morning show a lesson in how to make money in television? So it depends on what you are classified as when you are hired, right?
Yes.
So, like, if you are an extra on a film shoot, you make an
hourly wage or a minimum.
Actually. So you make like an 8-hour minimum.
Yeah.
And then that is broken down into hourly wages so that you can make overtime. So whatever you're like, when I was doing extra work, my 8-hour minimum as a SAG actor was $165 for 8 hours, right? So I was making a little over $20 an hour. We never shot for 8 hours. That, like, never happens. We would usually shoot between 9 and 14. And so every hour after 8 hours, I would get overtime, which would be 1 hour times, I think it's 1.25.
Yeah.
Up until 10 hours, and then it's 1.75 from 10 to 15. And then hour 16 on, this is where things get great. If you hit 16 hours, you are in what is called golden time. And golden time sucks because you've been on set for 16 hours, but you are making a full 8-hour pay scale every hour. So you are making $165 an hour.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Now, are you actually making $165 an hour? Probably not. Why? Smoke. Is there smoke on set? I get $15. Do they cut my hair when I get to set? I get like $45. Like, there's so many dumb things that you get extra money for. That's extra work. Now, I can't go through all this. This is basically, it depends on what contract you're on.
Yes.
Certain contracts are salaried, so you get paid per episode, no matter how many days filming you're in that episode. That's if you have lines. I did a 1-day shoot on The Deuce. I have one line in The Deuce, season 3, episode 2. You can see my face as a cop. And I had one line I got paid $1,054 before taxes, American, for that one line. I was on set for 3 hours, and I made a little over $1,000.
Yeah.
So, like, the scale of television is huge, right?
Yeah, and the problem is it's also different between television and commercial.
Yeah.
Royalties used to be more common than they are now. A lot of companies don't like to do royalties because then they have to pay you more.
Yeah, that's why a lot of commercials aren't union anymore, why they're almost all non-union.
Yeah, well, exactly. Because I got hired...
Is this too in the weeds? Have we officially gone too in the weeds?
Maybe, but they asked. I mean, so here's
Should I make a YouTube video explaining this? Do you think people would be interested in that?
I don't know. Maybe.
Do you think people would be interested in like how contracts in television work? Because I could like actually sit down and explain that in a video.
Yeah, but that's the thing is they're all different, and it depends on what's negotiated and things like that. Yeah. Like when I built or booked my first big commercial, there were different amounts of pay depending on what happened with it. Yeah. So I got paid for like my fittings, and I got paid for the time that I was on set. And then if I made the cut in the commercial, I did not, unfortunately, which sucks, but I would have gotten almost $10,000.
Yeah.
I didn't make the cut, which sucks. Whatever, I missed out on a lot of money. But then on top of that, if it goes to streaming services, I would get this additional. Or if it went to, or if it was aired certain like places, they give you more money depending on it because of the amount of eyeballs that are seeing it. And they also have to buy you out. Because you now can't do any conflicting commercials. Yeah. Your face cannot be seen in similar products.
Which is why the Verizon guy made so much money for switching to Sprint.
Yeah.
They paid him like $6 million to switch to Sprint.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's really, really complicated. But it's not fun either. Especially when you're in it and like all you're trying to do is figure out how you're making money.
And you're giving
like 10% to your agent and 30% to taxes, and you're like, wait, I made $1,000, but wait, I get like $540 of it? This is...
Yeah.
That seems wrong.
Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, that could be a TikTok series.
Could be a TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we've kind of...
But yeah, it's just complicated. Television money, there's a lot of money to be made in television, but there's also a million other people who want that job, so... Yeah. One of my favorite... I worked on... I was an extra on the Amazing Spider-Man 1, right? And I worked a couple of days on that, and then they liked me, I guess, so they called me back for Amazing Spider-Man 2 to be an extra in that.
Yeah.
And so I went to my costume fitting, and then I booked a legitimate, like, theater job, and I couldn't do the day. And so I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I feel really bad. So I walked away from it, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And they're like, we understand. That happens. And then I got a check in the mail for the costume fitting. And so even though I didn't do the actual shoot, they still paid me $85 for the costume fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you guys, I don't, and I called them. I was like, I don't, you guys should have this money back. They're like, like, you are in the union. We legally can't. It doesn't matter. Just keep the money, have fun. I was like, all right, I'm sorry. They weren't mad. They didn't really give a shit.
It's not their, like,
$250 million movie. The $85 they paid me, whatever.
They're fine. Yeah,
they will survive. They almost gave me pneumonia on Amazing Spider-Man 1, so, you know what? It's payment.
Yeah.
They made us run in the rain for, like, 6 hours overnight one night. And we were all drenched, and I was sick for like a week and a half afterwards. It was awful.
That's brutal.
So about why I asked that payment question, wasn't Dave Chappelle offered a lucrative deal? He walked away, and the entire production she shut down, right? Hardcore Soft Popcorn. He was offered a lucrative deal at the time for another season. This is a different thing, right? He did not want to make more show for them back in the day. The money they offered him back then wasn't sufficient to him feeling like he was giving him his creative juices or whatever, you know? This is him saying, you're making money off of the content that you didn't pay me for. And that is what he was not okay with. And I support him 100% in that. He made that content. It is his name.
Yeah.
That they are profiting off of. They're putting his name on there. And so I 100% am on board with him saying, look, you either keep paying me for my name or not.
Yeah.
But if you're going to put my name out there and you're not going to pay me, I'm going to tell people not to watch it. And they'll listen because the only reason they're watching it is because it's my name.
Yeah.
And I support him 100%. I think Dave Chappelle did the right thing here. I think that more creatives need to start putting their foot down on stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because streaming services are starting to run wild with contracts a little bit. And it's a race to the bottom. And at the bottom, it's not the streaming service executives who hit bottom. It's all of the creatives who figure out that they can't afford to live in LA anymore because no one's making enough money. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're already seen that in New York and Toronto and Atlanta, all these places where we're all out of work because there's no theater work.
Yeah. And everyone's leaving.
Everyone's leaving, yeah.
Everyone's leaving the big cities, and it definitely spells trouble for our industry.
It's gonna be hard to audition actors, and if no one lives nearby.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have to have digital auditions because no one lives in the city where you hold your auditions.
Yep.
Yeah. Or actors are gonna have to drive hours to their audition.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one.
This has been a weird morning show. I did not expect to get this technical today.
Yeah.
But thank you for being here. I hope that someone's learning something. Should we get into more news?
Yes, more news.
Let's change the topic. We were talking about one sitcom.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is not going to get a season 9, unfortunately. This is a show that I quite love. I love the Nine-Nine. But they've been struggling with how to move forward ever since the Black Lives Matter protests and the incidences last year involving police officers.
Yep.
And they're trying to figure out a way to move forward. And the decision has been made for them to end the series with season 8, which will come out next year. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy the show.
Which has already been filmed?
No, they're about to film it.
No, okay.
They've been rewriting the scripts in order to... They had an entire season 8 written.
And they had to throw it away.
And they threw out the entire thing in order to... In order to deal with the situation. And a lot of the actors on this show, particularly, were very loud advocates of the situation and very loud advocates for Black Lives Matter last year. They donate a lot of money. Yeah. And they're firm believers. I mean, it's a very diverse cast. And they're all very loud, opinionated people about social justice in ways that we're very supportive of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, they have a tough road ahead of them. And despite that, it's still kind of sad to see this coming to an end.
Yeah, I understand it, though. I think that, it's going to be really difficult to try to figure out how to move forward for this.
Yeah.
So I understand. I do. But it is sad. I know a lot of people love this show. I've seen a few episodes of it. I think it's great. I've never watched the full thing. I just have not ever had the time. But yeah, I think it's well done. It's funny. Everyone on it is very talented. Yeah. But, I think that they're making the right call. They could definitely keep trying to forge ahead to try and make more money, and I don't think that it would feel the same.
Here's the thing: eight seasons is huge.
It's great,
especially considering they were canceled by Fox and managed to come back once. They were canceled, I believe, at the end of season 5. So this will be their that's right, because this will be their 3rd season on NBC. And so I think that this is the right move. I think if they were to come back for season 9, if it did end up happening, it would be on Peacock. If Peacock wanted to bring them back for season 9, I could see that happening, maybe. But we do have to finish out the season 8 on NBC first, and see just where they plan on going with it. Because, they've said that they're writing the show to still be a comedy, but reflect what has happened with policing in America. Yeah. I think when the show comes back, there's going to be a lot of interest into how that works and what they do with that.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on them, so they're going to hope that they make it. They got to make sure that they're on their game. Yeah.
In other news, Black Widow is still set for a theatrical release. But I believe this is quote from Bob Iger. Nope, Bob Chapek, the new Disney CEO, has said that Disney will be watching to see the reopening of theaters and consumer sentiment in terms of going back to theater.
So if people are actually comfortable enough going to a movie theater.
So I don't know if they're going to necessarily be the first ones back, but it does look like they're interested in keeping Black Widow to be a theatrical release, despite the fact that we got the news that Disney Plus has reached 95 million subscribers.
Jesus Christ.
Disney's projected goal for its first 4 years as a service was 90 million. And so when did Disney Plus premiere? I believe it was 2019. Right?
Was it?
Yeah. That would be season 1 of Mandalorian was 2019. Season 2 was 2020.
I guess.
So they're well ahead of schedule, and Disney Plus is growing even faster than Disney even intended it to.
Yeah.
Which is great news. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Black Widow. I'm curious to see if the hype is still going to be there when it finally comes out. It just feels so. I want it.
Here's the thing.
It's just those trailers are
Here's the thing. We've all wanted it for a long time now. I think they should have done this movie a few years ago, if I'm being honest. They kind of already almost missed the bus on interest. They may have now.
Oh, you mean this movie should have been made pre-Endgame?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think so, personally.
Although, apparently this does set up what comes next. Because I think that this is going to introduce Florence Pugh as the new Black Widow.
Interesting.
Okay. As, like, the younger new Black Widow to be, like, part of the new Avengers, or whatever the next Avengers movie is called. Probably the new Avengers.
Yeah. It's... I don't know. I am nervous that, like, it's not going to do that well. But I do know a lot of people who are very, very excited for it, and I am excited for it. I want this story to be told. I want to see it, and I want to see it in theaters.
And I want you to do a cosplay of it.
Oh, me too. We're gonna work on that. That's definitely gonna happen.
We're just kind of breezing through some quick stories here, y'all. But game news. We have a date for the new Ratchet and Clank game, which is a huge favorite of mine. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is officially coming out on June 11th, 2021. So that is going to be the first... it looks like that'll be probably like the first big game of the PS5's second fiscal year. The fiscal year ends at the end of March, I believe. So this will be kind of like one of the first big titles of the second fiscal year of the PS5. And I'm very excited for it, although it does look like I won't be able to play it for a while. Because it doesn't look like I'll be able to get a PS5 anytime soon. Because of chip shortages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually been a problem, I believe, throughout the pandemic. Certain electrical parts, I don't know, it kind of covers a vast scope of items, I guess, but there has been shortages of things throughout the pandemic. Well,
and I was kind of looking into this yesterday, and part of the problem is that they're not selling a lot of PS5s. Like, their goal is to sell 14 million PS5s this year, right? But the makers of the chips want to take bigger contracts than that. Like, 14 million isn't a lot in comparison to, like, Samsung needing 85 million chips for its smartphone launch, right? And so apparently part of the problem here is that the gaming consoles are getting squeezed out by these larger manufacturers who are making more general devices that are used by a larger percentage of the population.
Interesting. Okay.
And so the PS5 we're already in a shortage, and it is already harder to ship, manufacture everything because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But on top of that, there are a lot of demands for chips, and there are only so many people that can make them. And so it is tough for PS5 to ramp up production. It feels and you know, it's starting to feel like there will still be a market for this, an over-demanded market for the PS5 going into the holiday season this year.
Yeah.
Going into Christmas 2021.
That's scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping that, like, the Nerdy Nightly, we get, like, enough subscribers that maybe Sony just sends us one. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's our plug.
That's our plug. So that we can get a free PS5.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you've been super excited about this game, so...
I love Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
I remember the original Ratchet and Clank. I think it was PS2, right? Like, that game was mind-boggling to me, because it felt like the next generation Crash Bandicoot. And Crash Bandicoot was such a mind-bending game when it first came out.
Yeah.
Just the way it moved felt so natural in a way that video games didn't feel like to me before that.
Yeah.
And the just everything about it was so cool. And then the first Ratchet and Clank just felt like the next step of that. It felt like the future of video games when it came out. And the characters are so lovable. All of the all of the Ratchet and Clank games are good, in my opinion. There's not been a bad one yet. So I'm just really excited for this. It looks stunning on that PS5 engine.
Does. Yes, it definitely does.
So I don't know. I really hope that we have a PS5 by then, but I'm at this point, I'm not holding my breath anymore.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's tough.
What's the date? June
11th.
11th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to get a PS5 by June, but who knows?
I mean, my birthday's in April, Sony, so...
Well, here's the thing. We literally were like, oh, we'll have a PS5 by spring.
Yeah, we did say that.
We did say that.
That did not happen.
Well, it's not spring yet. Maybe I got you a PS5 for our 1-year anniversary. I didn't. I would have to be a miracle worker for that.
Y'all,
and I'm not.
2 final bits of movie news. We'll breeze through one really quick. Borderlands is adding Jumanji Next Level star Jack Black as Claptrap, which I was on Kotaku, and Kotaku's article about this was like, this feels weird because Jack Black's funny and Claptrap is like supposed to not be funny.
Oh.
Like his humor is supposed to not land. Jack Black
is the perfect
can be the best anti-funny person ever, I promise you.
Yeah, he's the perfect person for that.
Yeah. Jack Black will be the least funny person in any movie ever. It's going to be brilliant. Also, this teams him back up with his Jumanji co-star Kevin Hart. Mm-hmm. They previously worked together on Kotaku on the Jumanji movies together, and so they're getting back together for the Borderlands film, which I think is really interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, this cast is so stacked.
Yeah, seriously.
Kate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis, Jack Black, and Kevin Hart in a Borderlands movie. I want to see
it just for Jamie Lee Curtis.
I know.
That
I love
woman
her so much.
Is amazing.
But you won't watch the Halloween movies with me.
I don't like scary movies.
In other movie news, we're getting a Face Off sequel. I want his face off. If you guys don't know what that is, it is a incredible 90s action thriller starring Nicolas Cage and John Travolta, where they switch faces. It makes no sense, but go watch it. It's so good. But the director of Godzilla vs. Kong, the movie we're all very excited to watch next month.
That's true.
Is directing this reboot of the Face Off franchise. And in his Instagram post, he did say, Face Off is a miraculous film. We would never attempt to directly recreate its magic, but we are very excited about what we have planned. I'm excited as well.
I'm on...
You've never seen the original.
No, I have heard your synopsis of it, and I am worried.
Hardcore Soft Popcorn says Face Off 2. No faces. Off. Limits. Brilliant.
I don't like
Brilliant. That is so funny. That is so funny. Hardcore. That is so good. No faces. Off. Limits is so funny.
Oh, God. I'm assuming you're going to make me watch this.
Yeah, this will be a fun one. This isn't a horror. This will be up your alley. You'll find it funny. Maybe we'll do edibles and watch it.
All right.
That's the right way to watch Two Face, Two Off. Yes, 6 months. Two Face, Two Off.
Oh, God. Yeah, here's the thing. Obviously, it's not going to have the same people in it, right?
I hope it does. Bring back Nick Cage.
John Travolta's, like, getting
John Travolta has a little... That's like a controversial thing right now, I feel like. He's not that old. He's like 60.
Really?
Yeah. John Travolta's like 60, right?
I don't know.
Nicolas Cage is like 55. Nicolas Cage looks great. That Willy's Wonderland trailer.
I was gonna say.
Oh, that comes out today.
What?
Willy's Wonderland.
Comes out today?
Yeah, February 12th.
Oh, God.
This man has many faces. Nick Cage is the face-off sensei.
Oh, my God.
Y'all, we have one last thing to talk about today that we have discussed talking about. We have an announcement to make.
We have an announcement.
About the morning show. How do you want to address this?
I don't know. I feel like it's weirder to, like... I don't know. So we have decided that our current Monday through Friday schedule for the morning show will end after the 100th episode.
Yeah, so guys, this is a lot of hours. This morning show has been a really wonderful, wonderful time. We've been doing it for 18 weeks now, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work. But at the same time, it is it's a lot of our time, and it is unfortunately going to have to cut back a little bit. And so the morning show is going to be transitioning to a once a week Monday morning 90-minute show. Ish, 90-ish minutes, yeah.
Be dependent on, obviously, the news and what's going on.
The recorded section will probably be about 90 minutes, and we'll still do a pre- and post-show. But this is just for us to free up our week a little bit. And as we look towards things reopening and, getting jobs. And
yeah, we need... The reality is we do need to try to make money.
Yeah.
And the morning show just, unfortunately, we're hoping that it would grow in a way that it hasn't. We love doing it. We love hanging out with you guys and bringing you the news. But it does take our mornings from 9, 10, 11, 12. It's because we have to do the work to set up the show, do the show, then put it up on the YouTube.
Yeah.
And by then it's noon or 1 o'clock, and we lose our morning hours 5 days a week. And we gotta make money.
And as Misguided Gamers Live is saying, we have more news on one show than daily.
Yes.
There's a lot of days where we talk about stuff that is tough to
stretch.
Tough to stretch.
Yeah.
F in the chat for your weekends. No, Timmy, this will give us our weekends back, my dude.
Well, and it'll give us more time for other things. And it is sad because, like I said, we definitely really enjoyed it. It's just, if this was our full-time job, it wouldn't be a problem, but the amount of work and research and setup and everything that goes into it, we just can't keep it up.
It's also just realistically, this is the most amount of time that we put into any project. And it is also just realistically, just to be transparent, this is our least viewed thing. Of all of the things that we do, this is the thing that gets the least eyes on it. And so we are, we want to transition but there's a couple of things, right? One is that we want to transition towards the content that people are watching and seem interested in watching. And we love the people who come to Morning Show. That's not what this is about at all.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
We've been talking about creating our own content more than making content that's only talking about other people's content. And right now it feels like all of our content is commentary on other people's content. For the most part. Yeah. And we want to transition to make our own things. We want to be creating original content more than we are right now.
Yeah.
And so that's actually a big part of it. And we're hoping that you guys will join us on that journey. And we are going to do 2 more weeks of this because we want to hit episode 100.
Yeah.
So Monday through Friday, we are still going to be doing. Still going to be doing that. We're gonna get to 100, and then right away the Monday afterwards, we're gonna come back with that new show. That next Monday.
Yeah.
And then we'll be weekly after that. Yeah.
It might be hard to come back and do a 90-minute show after having done the news all week, but we're gonna try our best.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, but
we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
The first one back will be a 90-minute Crudes 2 spoiler chat.
Oh my god.
Where we will break down everything you never knew about the Crudes 2.
Oh, jeez.
The weekly morning show. No, it's still going to be called the Nightly Morning Show, mostly because we have this great logo.
Yeah, no, it's still the Nightly Morning Show.
Look at that. Acacia Designs crushed it.
Yeah, it's still the Nightly Morning Show. We just... Yeah, I'm sorry.
90 minutes about the color magenta. Don't be sorry. We're still going to be... Here's the thing, y'all. The morning show's coming to an end. But we're not going to, go away.
No. We're just going to be putting this time and energy into other things.
Yeah.
That hopefully you guys will also enjoy and that more people will enjoy. And, the other, kind of reality of it is that when things start opening back up, it's very difficult to find work when you have 5 days a week in the mornings where you can't do much else.
Yeah.
So that is also a factor as well. It's not ending. You're right. It's just going to be weekly instead.
I feel like this isn't as hard for other people as it is for us.
Yeah, I'm very sad about it, but it's fine.
We know it's the right call for our content and for Pokimane raids you. Temmie, I wish. I love Pokimane. She's funny.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just the reality of the situation. And honestly, like, part of being an online content creator, I think, is being adaptable.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to adapt to the next thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's our announcement.
You sound so sad. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
It's our 1-year anniversary. Can you perk it up, please?
Okay.
Can you be happy?
Yes.
Please? Jesus.
I am very excited for Mario, actually. I'm very excited for Mario.
Yeah.
We're going to have some awesome new stuff coming at you guys that we're going to have lots of time to make it good. And, we're still going to be streaming at least 3 times a week, each of us. Probably more than that. It'll give us more time for gaming stuff.
Dark Dispatch says, I'll miss seeing you guys every day. We still stream every day.
Yeah.
Even without the morning show, we're still online every day.
Yeah.
We actually will probably do more morning streams.
Yeah, exactly.
For that Nuzlocke run. Tomsium, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to spend some mornings on stream grinding levels. So you guys can come hang out. I'll do nerd news while I level up my Pokemon and my Nuzlocks.
Yeah, as it breaks. You have, the news app. But yeah, that's
actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And then post some clips. Playing Pokemon while talking about the news.
Yeah.
See? Adapting.
Yeah, we're trying to make it work, y'all. So thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us. We've had the best time. We got 2 more weeks of this, so you better be there. And as always, you can follow us. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube if you're not already. Go give our podcast a 5-star review if you haven't on Apple Podcasts.
Hey.
You have 2 weeks to do it for the daily morning show. We will read out your 5-star comment. Doesn't matter what it is. We will read it live.
Sex Monkey wants to know for more co-gaming streams.
Yes.
Ideally, our goal is to have at least 1 a week. Yeah. The Sex Monkey is the plan. I want to go to all co-gaming streams, but Clara says that's not going to happen because she needs time away from me.
No, no.
She can't put up with me that much. I think her exact words were, my streams are the only time I can get away from you, and that awful smell that you permeate throughout our apartment.
What?
Her exact words. So we're only going to be doing it probably once a week.
Oh my God. You make me sound like a terrible person. Yes, we're looking to do a lot more co-op streams with the 2 of us.
Starting today with Super Mario 3D World at 1 p.m. Eastern. Come back to this channel, twitch.tv/nerdynightly.
Please, it's going to be so fun.
Also, y'all, you can follow my wife over at twitch.tv/Claris
Jacaris.
And you can follow us across the internet at all those social handles. We're going to end the show for now, but we will be back Monday with the 91st episode.
The 91st episode.
Of the Nightly Morning Show.
On that March to 100.
On that March to 100, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're in the Twitch chat, stick around. We're going to keep talking to you. Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.